Hey everybody, it's me, Shell360, and I'm here with a Korean snack today and just a little chat about my last video. And I'm going to make the chat about my last video first, that way I can make it quick and then we'll get into the snack. So in my last video, I was talking about the use of the phrase OMG, and I made that video on the 12th, and then on the 13th, all hell broke loose in Paris, and there are indications that it has to do with, you know, jihad, religious violence, terror, and my last video had some discussion about religious beliefs, and so I'm gonna set it to private for now. I mean, it'll probably be back up and running somewhere down the road, but for now I just don't feel comfortable having it out there because I don't want anything that I say to contribute to anybody else's pain, especially at this moment in time, because I don't understand why this happened. And I don't want anything that I've said to lead to more misunderstandings or any more pain for anybody, because that's not what I'm here for. I'm not here for that. I'm here to be friendly and to have fun and to hopefully be a positive role for people. Not a role model, but just be a positive part of somebody's life. I don't want to bring negativity into somebody's life. So I'm going to set that video to private. So if you didn't see it, I'm sorry. One day down the road you'll be able to see it, but just right now it's going to be set to private. Next thing we're going to talk about, black bean noodles. I was asked to do a review of black bean noodles, but you guys, I live in a town where there's maybe 100,000 people, which might sound like a lot of people, but in America, that's practically nothing. Like in America, a town with 100,000 people is barely anything. We have one mall. No, I take that back. We got 2 malls now. They opened an outlet mall. We got 2 malls. So there's no Korean restaurants here. We have a pho place, and we have tons of Mexican food / Tex-Mex restaurants around here. Like if you wanted me to review some enchiladas, we could have a channel with nothing but enchilada reviews, because that's all around here. But in terms of Korean food, my options are limited. So to review black bean noodles, I had to go with this JJajangmen instant noodles. I got this at my local Asian food grocery store. This was the plastic wrap that was around the bowl package that I got. This is the bowl, and then this is the noodles, and look at that. And because I have to go to work in like 30 minutes, I already got started eating some of this. This is really good. Like, I'm glad you guys recommended me to do this. This is actually pretty tasty. It's got little chunks of like meat and potatoes in there, if you can tell. And the sauce is really super thick, if you can see. It smells like American style brown gravy, like the kind of brown gravy you'd put on mashed potatoes. But it tastes sweet and salty, a little bit soy saucy. But it's got a very, this is going to be a weird phrase, it's got a very comfortable taste to it. Like, it tastes more like a meal than ramen normally does. Usually when I'm eating ramen, it tastes like a snack. And that's why I always throw like an egg in there. I'll throw some vegetables in there to make it feel more like a meal. You know, because it's got the broth and it's got the noodles. So it has kind of a watery soup texture a lot of the time when it comes to ramen. This doesn't have that. This feels like man style ramen. It's just, it's full of flavor, and it feels thick, and it feels hearty, and it feels good, and I love it. It's a little bit rushy. It's just really good. Even though it's sweet, the sweetness is not off-putting. And if this is just the ramen noodle like instant version of this, I can't even imagine what this stuff tastes like when it's fresh. Like this fresh from like a restaurant or something, I bet this is outstanding. So my recommendation, I'm going to put a link down below on how to buy some of this stuff. But if you have a Korean restaurant near you that does this, go try it. It's actually really tasty. And that's the thing about these ramen and Korean snack reviews. Sometimes when you're dealing with snack food, and I'm sure it's the same way around the world, and you get a snack food from another country, you may think, oh, well, that's what that really tastes like. No, it doesn't. Like, it's actually way better when you get it fresh. But this is the only thing that some of us have when we don't have access to these kind of restaurants. For instance, if you're from any country besides America, and you get macaroni and cheese, Kraft dinner, or macaroni and cheese flavored stuff tastes nothing like the real thing. Like, real American Southern style macaroni and cheese, it's made with heavy cream, and it's made with several different kinds of cheeses, and it's made with a roux. You're supposed to take your butter and flour and make a roux, add your heavy cream, add your several different cheeses, melt that up, boil your noodles, mix that together. Sometimes you put it in a casserole dish and bake it. I mean, breadcrumbs on top. Like, when you're talking about real Southern macaroni and cheese, that stuff is an art form. And Kraft macaroni and cheese there's no comparison. Those are practically two different food groups. So that's why stuff like this, while you may think that this is authentic Korean food, the truth is this is like a pale imitation of what the real stuff is. But it's cool anyway, because if I like this, I feel like I'm going to love the real thing. Same thing with Kraft macaroni and cheese. If you like Kraft macaroni and cheese and you ever get a chance to have like real Southern style macaroni and cheese, life-changing. Life-changing. It's not the same thing. So that's what I love about stuff like this. And this is the reason why I continue to do like the Korean snack food reviews, because for me, this is as close as I'm going to get to like having real Korean food. But also, when I get the opportunity to try Korean food, because every once in a while I do, it's nice to have kind of a little bit of a background taste profile. That way when I go to the restaurant, I can say, well, I had noodles that were this flavor, so let me try this food product. Sometimes it's better. Most of the time it's better. Sometimes it's not so great. But that could also depend on the quality of the restaurant. But that's what's awesome about doing these food reviews, is being able to try this stuff and make an informed decision. That way, later on when you're confronted with the real thing, you kind of know already and not waste your money, because like restaurant food is expensive. So this was $2.50 in a restaurant. I'm sure this is probably at least $10. So yeah, that's why I do these food reviews. My gosh, I cannot talk this morning. I'm so sorry, guys. But anyway, I'm still going to do a ramen or a banana milk or something when I do the actual K-drama review. But this was just something I wanted to talk about real quick, because I needed to eat breakfast before I go to work, and also because I just wanted to talk about my last video. There were a couple of downvotes. I wish those people would have explained why they downvoted, because I always want to hear like kind of your opinions and things. But a lot of times I find that when people downvote and they don't explain themselves, it's because they're not interested in engaging in a conversation. They just want to have a quick opinion and move on. And that's, yes, you're right, you're entitled to it, but I would have welcomed a conversation. Trust me, I would have. And as always, December 5th is unboxing day. I'll have information about that down below, along with, like I said, a link to how to get some of this delicious gloriousness. So yeah, unboxing day. If you decide to do unboxing day, please let me know, because I want to watch your video. I desperately want to watch your video. All right then, well, I will talk with you all later.